How are you, Carol? You good?
Good, yes.
Howdy, everyone. Hello, Dean.
How are you? These mice look like they've grown.
A little bit.
Somebody's watered them.
Just a little bit.
Huh?
Alright, guys, we'll start in the room. Guys, if you have a question on the Zoom, please raise your hand like always. Willie P.
Hi, Willie. How are you?
Good, good. In terms of availability, how did everybody come out of the match on Sunday, and what's the availability like, absent, obviously, Pep situation?
Yeah, so everybody came through the game okay, injury-wise, so everybody's okay. And we have the news this morning that the appeal failed, so Pep Biel will be missing for the game. I have no idea how it failed, but for some strange reason it did.
What was the explanation you got back from the league?
I don't need an explanation. I've asked them not to send the rationale behind it because I've seen the incidents, I've seen the referee's report, and the video evidence contradicts the referee's report. We put that in our appeal. I think they spoke about a kick in action. I have no idea how, if your foot is connected to somebody else's foot, you can kick someone. I think it's physically impossible if your foot is connected. But they come up with that decision, and I felt that it was going that way. I felt that we were being pushed, that that maybe we shouldn't appeal it. And I think if we had Harry Potter as a member of the Charlotte FC team, putting that appeal forward, I think we'd have had problems getting him off. So unfortunately, it's missing, and it's a problem for our club because this is the biggest game in our history. It's only a short history, but we're at home in front of our fans for a playoff game for the first time, and we'll be missing a DP.
Does that mean he's, because I know with the appeal process, sometimes that multiplies the suspension, does that mean he's out for the rest of the
No, I think it's just one game.
Just one game?
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of what do you do to replace him, is Carroll an option? What are the options in terms of playing?
We've got a number of options. Kerwin didn't start the last game, but he's been playing really well. So we've got Kerwin, we've got Yuri Tavares, who's been playing well. Jamie Patterson's been training really well. So, we've got players. I've got the opportunity of whether I want to put, Carroll and Patrick together as well. So there's a number of options.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of putting Carroll at the wing and Adam top?
I don't think it's worked before. I've put them together a couple of times before and wasn't quite sure that worked. And I think it goes away from what our strengths are as well.
Did they show you anything on Sunday, they being Orlando, that you weren't expecting?
No, I saw exactly what I was expecting from them. The disappointing part from me was that we didn't turn up for 45 minutes, and the players were made aware of that. And we don't want that to be, our legacy moving onwards. We want to get as many people as we can into the bank on Friday night, and we want to put in a performance where they can be proud of us, because for 45 minutes we weren't at our best, and there were too many players who didn't even reach a 7 out of 10.
I know you always said that every spot is up for contention, every match. Is there, obviously with the one you'll have to make a force change, but is there anything else that is maybe catching more of your eye in terms of a spot that might be in contention?
There's a couple of spots that will certainly be in contention, and the players have to show me that they'll do enough to get into the team. As I said, we were too loose on the ball in the first half. I thought the second half was a much better display. We conceded a goal on the counter, but we've done enough for me to know that we can go and hurt them and cause them problems, and especially at home with our fans behind us.
As I say, when it comes to playing home versus away, you've kind of tried to shy away from that because you don't want to rely on the home. But how much now do you rely on your home form and how well you guys have played there?
Well, we have to, because if we don't, then we don't go any further. So the players know that. It's a big game, and it would have been a big game for both teams if whichever team wins on that first game. And you'll see that throughout the other games that are happening. So we're excited for it now. We're looking forward to it. We feel aggrieved, and I think the injustice that we as a team feel, I think will make the club grow stronger.
Carol?
And speaking of injustice, is that a play in your mind where the head referee did not witness it and he went to his assistant?
The head referee on the video evidence definitely does not see the incident. He doesn't blow up for a free kick. He's obviously brought to attention that something has happened, and the closest match official to that is 40 yards away. So I think it's an incorrect decision. I think it's an incorrect process as well, and I think it's been flawed. But we have to go with it, and it is what it is. And I'll leave it to other people's judgments if that was somebody else's DP.
Is that an instance where VAR could and should be used?
I believe so. And as I say, we have to prove it's a clear and obvious error. So I Googled last night clear and obvious in an American dictionary because I wasn't sure whether clear and obvious was different to an English. And it's the same. So I understood that. I understand the laws of the game and what violent conduct stands for as well. And in my 36 years of professional football, I can't understand how you can kick somebody when your leg is connected to the other person's leg.
Dean. I'm sorry, Karen.
It did. I watched a slow-mo video of it and his leg goes back up. I mean, is that what, I mean?
The other lad's leg goes
No.
back up as well.
Okay.
At the same time.
Okay.
I'd have probably given him a gold medal for synchronised swimming.
And the VAR was not used at all, right? In live action?
My belief is any red card event, any penalty, any goal, VAR is used. But for whatever reason, the referees issued a red card and never, ever seen the incidents live or never been replayed that incident. And we've lost a DP because of that.
Dean, some clubs would kind of flush it and just say, like, let's just get out of the game. Is it apparent to you that your entire roster feels the same way you do it as far as carrying this into Friday?
No, listen, we've heard the appeal today. We feel an injustice with it because we all just feel that it is actually impossible for what's been reported to happen. And then you look at the video evidence and you go, well, that hasn't happened. There was no studs. There's no evidence of studs into an ankle. And there's no kick. There's no kick in action. Does he lift his leg and straighten his leg? Yes. But there's no kick in action because he's connected to his foot. So, but as I say, it's gone. We can't change it. We haven't got him. And I believe it'll make us as a club stronger.
How do you feel after being here for a full season that this home crowd can change the dynamic for your club Friday night?
I think that's been proven already. I think probably the lowest attendance we had this season was our poorest game against Minnesota. The more fans we get in the bank, the better our performances levels have been. And, I think it'll be rocking on Friday and we're looking forward to that.
So, Coach, just to close the book on Biel, what did he have to say to it about it to you?
Not an awful lot, to be honest. He wanted us to appeal as well. He knows he didn't kick out. He lifted his foot. We can't deny that, but his foot was also connected to their player's foot as well.
So to ask a couple questions about guys who've been trying to make it into the lineup, who has been fighting hard to be on the roster that maybe we haven't seen in a while, like Aronin, Lindsay, some of those guys? Yeah,
I think I said before. I mean, it's been really difficult for the likes of Yere and Jalen because the performance of our defensive line has been excellent this season, along with Callie in goal as well. So it's been really tough, especially over the last 5 or 6 games, how we've been playing. But there's potential. Tavares has done well when he started games. I look back at Cincinnati, Austin scored in both games starting. Jamie Patterson's really starting to show what he's about in training now. So, he's pushing as well. We've had Vargas, we've had Adjaman coming off the bench in recent games. Patrick started the last game against DC as well. So I think we've got some really good competition for places at the moment.
You said just now that this is the biggest match in the club's history on Friday. If you win it, you get another biggest match in the club's history a week later. How are you and the squad dealing with that sort of pressure?
I think we're looking forward to this pressure that we'll have on Friday because it'll be on our home turf. You know, and what we have to do is go and get the right results, you know, to take them back to Orlando again, and then, you know, we have to find a way of going and beating them at their place.
And then finally, you know, last year the team spent a lot of time in Texas for Leagues Cup. If you, you know, if you win the next two, it's very likely that you'll be spending some more time in Florida. You know, do you think that the team is going to be able to play anywhere going down the stretch?
This team can play anywhere. Yeah, I have no doubts about that. And you know, it is cooling up a little bit, whether it be in Texas or Florida. You know, so you can certainly deal with the changing temperature as well.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
And then back to Carol.
Dean, you mentioned at the halftime in Orlando that, you know, you told the guys that you should play with more fun. I asked Brent about that today, and maybe the team felt a little nervy going into this match. What kind of things have you guys talked about from that match heading into this one to make sure that the occasion doesn't get to the players?
Yeah, I don't think it will. I mean, I think they've built up a lot of momentum going into that first game, and you know, Orlando are a good team. They've got good players. They're dynamic. They've got good movements. But we know we can be better than what we've shown. You know, and that was the disappointing thing for the players. Whether that was a build-up of pressure or whether that was just so many players having an off day, because we turned the ball over too much, and that was pretty much that summed the first half up to me. You know, I said before, we had Privs running out with the ball, got tackled. Ashley Westwood running out with the ball, got tackled, and you know, it became, you know, a never-ending story a little bit. So I thought I saw a lot in the second half where I saw our players get into better positions, built up really well, caused them problems, and made them drop off. And you know, I expect our players to take that into this game now.
The first maybe 10 to 15 minutes of that first half, Orlando attacked you a lot on that right-hand side. Is there anything different you feel that maybe a Yaron Ronan could provide for you than a Tim Raine?
If you look back at the first 10 minutes, they get there down there once, and I've had the stats put in front of me about where the majority of their openings came from, and it was down our actual right-hand side. Because Nathan was playing a lot higher in the game, they attacked down the side of Adi Melanda an awful lot in the game. So, you know, we've got to be careful of both sides, really. Cheers.
I'm not going to close the door on Pep Biel yet. Sorry. Sorry, Sam. Did you tell him that the appeal was denied, and how did he take it?
Yeah, I told him this morning. Yeah, he was very disappointed, obviously.